Hi there. I thought we might paint a little together. Start our afternoon off with something good. I have two canvases that I've put little blue swirls on and a couple of hills. Little blue swirls and two hills. And what I'm going to try and do is something more like this. Years ago I did a painting like this and it became a book cover. We've got a house. The house is under the stars. The stars are over the house. The house is on the hill. Got a nice blue background, a green hill, a white moon, and my moon hangs on little strings, as do the stars. So I've already added some swirls. We already have all our little swirls going, and we're going to try and add in everything else. What do you think? Get us a little paint out here. I'm going to use this. This is raw umber. We talked yesterday about the paint I used that was burnt umber. That was darker than this. This is raw umber. It's a light brown. It's a caramel color. It's a very nice shade of brown. Very nice. So I'm going to pull us out a nice small brush here. And we'll see if we can't lay a house down. I see we have all the usual suspects joining us. Lots of nice people. Most of the people who are joining us right now are already fluent in English. They like to tune in just to have fun with paint. Some of them are artists too, have works worth looking at. But I believe we're all artists. Some of us make art, but we're all artists. If you have ever sung for a child, you're an artist. If you have ever danced for joy, you are an artist. You don't have to do something professionally in order to say you do it. I cook frequently, but no one would ever mistake me for a great chef. But what I do is still cooking. Well, I think we got a base for a good little house here. What do you think? A little house? I like my houses to look like they're leaning back, maybe looking up at the sun, looking up at the moon, seeing what might happen. Let's see if we can't add one over here too. I think these two would make a nice diptych. Now that's a big word. That's a word most people don't know. A diptych is die. D-I or B-I usually means two. A diptych is two paintings that go together. So if you look, you'll see how these two would balance each other out sitting in a room. That makes it a diptych. Tri, T-R-I, usually means three in English. And a triptych is a painting with three panels. And that keeps going, but it's very uncommon to hear anybody talk about more than a triptych. There are bigger groupings of paintings with special names, but they aren't used very often. I see many of you are watching these videos when they go up on the Blue Ridge Literacy site. I'd like to hear what you might like to see painted, and perhaps we can get together soon and paint something you'd like to see. Wouldn't that be nice? So, little something on there. We have our blue and white. We have our green, and we have our brown. I'm going to take my dirty palette, a different one from yesterday because I have a lot of dirty palettes around, and we're going to add some yellow yellow to see if we can't make stars. This is a very bright yellow. I would use the word vibrant. Very vibrant. Yellow kind of jumps at you. Some colors are more like that. Yellows tend to jump out. Reds tend to jump out. Blues and greens tend to be calm and stay in the background. We call the difference warm colors and cool colors. If you think about cold things, they are blue or white. If we think about ice, we put blue and white, but when we think about fire, we put red and orange. So blue and various shades of green and maybe even some purples are considered cool colors, where red and orange moving towards yellow, we call those warm colors. So we've got our little house. I'm going to go in here and see if we can't put us a nice little goopy star in. Using lots of paint. Paint just standing up off the canvas. Maybe you should try making some art too. There are a lot of ways to add your voice to the community. You can vote. You can go and see your neighbors. And you can make art. All of these are very valid ways of letting people know how you feel, how you think the world should work. Sometimes, when we make art, we're speaking about how things should be, and sometimes we're just talking about how things are. We're adding little stars. Now I'll have to add these stars and then come back later and put even more yellow over top. This paint lets light pass through it. Let's see if you can see. Can you see any of the color behind the yellow? That's light passing through it. So we've got to put multiple layers because we want it to be a nice solid yellow. We want those stars to have their voice out very clear. The stars get to speak to us too, don't you know? So, another little base here. There we go. We have one star, and now we have added 2 stars. Now, we talk a lot. We start every class. Hi, my name is Mark. And you say, hi, my name is. And I say, how are you? And almost everybody says good. I notice that a lot of you, when you have to chit-chat, the first thing that comes out is, how is your family? It's one of my favorite things about my students. They always check on each other's family. I want you to look down here, and there's a lady named Nancy Renault. Nancy Tresk Renault. Nancy's first line was, hey dude. Hey dude. That's informal language, and that's just fine. That's how Nancy and I would talk to each other if we just saw each other on the street. So sometimes we use formal language. Hello, how are you? Sometimes we use informal language. Hey dude, or what's up? Formal language is for interviews, meeting our boss, maybe folks at the church or the mosque. Informal language is for everyday people. Everyday people. 3 stars. Let's add some stars to the other one. If you're watching with me, and you know me well, you know why I'm recording these. They're largely so that my students can keep up to practice on their English skills. So why don't you put below, in a very polite way, how you say hi to people when you first see them every day. Is it howdy do, or how you doing, or what's up? Why don't you just drop a note so that those people who see the video can get examples of how we talk to each other day to day. My students tend to fall back on hello. How are you? How is your family? Makes me feel really warm when they always ask about each other's families. Obviously very concerned about one another. Where I'm from, we tend not to ask about someone's family unless we know the members of the family. But it's been nice to be exposed to how different people think about these things. We've got people tuning in from all over the USA. Yesterday we had Russians and a Finn tune in. Sean Osborne just says, hey. Isn't that nice? Just hey. That may not seem like much to a lot of people, but it's an acknowledgement. It's just saying I see you there. Chad Varney said, hey, how's it going? Which is the loose version, the slang version of how are you, right? Laura Boland likes to say hi there. She says hi there. There is a place. In formal language, something is here or there. But when we're talking to our friends, hi there, just hi there. I'm the thing that is there. Elizabeth Johnson says greetings. Greetings. Isn't that nice? Doesn't that seem warm? Greetings. It means that she greets you warmly. I think that's a very nice thing to say to someone. It feels to me a little more formal, but it's not stuffy. It's not a bad thing to say. And some people speak a little more formally than others. Riley Jones says, hey, Mark. Hey, Mark. Hey is just a way of getting someone's attention. Hey, hey, look up here. Hey, how you doing? Riley lives up the street from me, and she makes art too. Riley, here in America, can be a man's name or a woman's name. In this instance, Riley is a woman. Riley, R-I-L-E-Y. It's a nice name, isn't it? It's got a nice rhythm. Riley. You use almost your whole mouth to make that word. I like it. Let's see if we can't get one more star put on this one. And we'll have a good basis for stars. All right. When I paint, I frequently make mistakes. Sometimes I can cover up my mistakes, and sometimes you just have to live with them and start over. But that's how it is with everything, isn't it? Sometimes we start over because things are our fault, and sometimes we start over just because that's how things are. It always makes me a little nervous to paint while you all watch, because I don't want anybody to see me make a mistake. That feels silly when I think about it. I assume you all know I make lots of mistakes. Those of you who know me best could probably name funny mistakes I've made without much effort. I think that's a good thing. Friends make fun of each other occasionally. Friends like to rib a little bit. I'm going to go get some black paint. Don't you run away. I'll be right back. I had forgotten to get my black. To do almost any painting, you only need a few things. You need some black, some white, red, yellow, and blue. I also like to keep a light and a dark brown, but I'm going to do a paint mixing video with you, and I'll be able to show you how you can make your own browns. So let's get out a little black paint, and let's give these houses some edges. Houses have to have boundaries, edges, frames. This is an edge, edge. Paintings have 4 edges or more. But our houses have edges too. So we've got our little brown house there. Can you see the little brown house? I'm going to add a sweeping line down for the roof. one little sweeping line. Then I'll add another. See? But our house still is very flat. It feels flat, doesn't it? So I'm going to copy this line further back. See how this line looks like that one? And if we just fill in between them, it starts to feel like our house has a little shape. And if I can fill in underneath with a little more black, we can make this house feel like it's got a shadow and is actually sitting on the hill. This isn't about realism. If you want a picture of a house, anybody can do that. This is about comfortable little houses that the light falls on. They don't have to look like real houses, because we all understand that something doesn't have to look real for us to understand what's happening. If I do that, we all know I made a smiley face. Doesn't look like my face, right? And I think sometimes simpler images, images that are not complex, that are easy to understand, are a little more comforting than highly realistic images. Sometimes I think we get so caught up on technique, we forget why we're painting. Not that what those people do isn't valid, it's just not how I work. I like people to come away from my work with a little bit of humor. When I take my work out and show it to people in public, frequently they will look at it and then they'll laugh. And they look at me and apologize. They apologize for laughing. That's always struck me as odd. I want people to laugh. I think it's best when people laugh. And when people look at my work and laugh, I feel like I've succeeded. I feel like part of my reason for making it was so that they could enjoy themselves. And if you laugh for a second, I think I did the right thing. I never feel like they're laughing at me. I feel like they're laughing with me. We laugh together. If you say something funny and someone laughs, you don't get upset. And if you try to make something that's cute and funny, you can't get upset when people laugh. Because that's what you tried to do, right? We try to make each other laugh. Now, let's look at our house again. Sitting under 3 stars, and it's facing this way. See the curve of the house? See how it's curved and it looks like it's looking this way? So we're going to put a moon up here for our house to look at. Won't that be nice? I work on the painting like this, but I'm going to turn it upside down to paint a moon on it so I don't drag my hand through the stars. I get messy. I get lots of paint on me, but I try to do it in a way that doesn't hurt the painting. Nice sweeping line. Isn't that a nice first line? Let's see if we can't make one to go with it. Sweeping line. This is a quarter moon, or some people call it a crescent moon. We're going to fill that in, and we're going to give our little house a friend up in the sky to look at. And we're going to give the moon something to look down on. There's my friend Patrick Klein joining us. I haven't seen him in a long time. And my friend Samantha came along. Samantha, Patrick, I do these videos every day for people in my English for Speakers of Other Language class. We have people who come from all over the world who speak languages that aren't English, and they want their English to improve. Today we're discussing colors, we're discussing shapes, and we've discussed informal greetings. My friend Patrick, who just came in, used to walk into a store I worked at, and he would say, "Howdy do, howdy do." That's just about as friendly and relaxed as it gets. So we've got a moon on that one. We're going to put a moon on this one too. these come out well, maybe later today, I can show you all how I do the blue swirlies. It's really messy, and it's my favorite part. It gets paint all over the place. I always get paint on my shoes. Paint falls off a canvas. But I do it in a special place where I don't get in trouble if I spill paint everywhere. And it really makes me feel involved. I like being a little messy sometimes. Do you like being messy? Maybe a little spill while you're cooking, or a little paint when you're putting it on something. Maybe not the best when you're at work or if you're putting on makeup, but gee, it's nice to be able to just make a little bit of a mess. Little star. You can tell from my shirt that I like to make a mess. But I figure it's like a cooking apron. That's what it's there for. I won't go anyplace fancy in these shirts, but I sure do like wearing them when I paint. Makes me feel like I'm dressed well for work. People who do construction wear hard hats. Wear a very hard hat, like a helmet on their head, to keep them safe. Chefs wear aprons. Doctors wear special gowns. And I wear paint-covered shirts. It's all the same thing to me. I think part of the excitement of working is set aside with your special outfit. Do you have a special outfit you wear for anything? If you are going to your church, or to your mosque, or to your synagogue, do you have a special outfit you wear? What about if you're going to feed a small child, or work in your yard? Do you have special clothes? These are my special painting clothes, and I can get them very messy. It doesn't mean people don't pick on me for it. They like to make fun, but that's okay. I know it's a good thing. We're going to add a little window to our house here. I like to make the light in the window a mixture of yellow and white. If we mix our yellow and white together, it looks like it's warm in that home. Maybe there's a family in there enjoying themselves. Isn't that a nice thought? When you go by people's homes, when you go down the street, do you think about who lives there? Everybody lives life differently. But I'd like to think these people are having a good day. Mom or dad has been at work. The kids have been at school. And they've come home to enjoy themselves at the end of the day. Maybe that's a game or a meal. Maybe they're just sitting around watching a movie or seeing what's on TV. But that warm yellow-white light makes me feel like I know they're safe. They're where they want to be, doing what they want to do. Got a little pane to this window. Little pain. There's another word with two meanings. Not pain like hurt, but pain as in sections of glass. Add a little pane to this window too. And if I give these about an hour to dry, they'll be ready to touch up and ready to go. I'm going to try and get back with you this afternoon. We'll discuss more how to finish these paintings off, and maybe I'll show you how to mix some colors. In the meantime, I'd like you to think. Think about special outfits you wear and why you dress differently for where you go. I'd like you to think about the different jobs people around you have and where things around you are. If you have any questions, or if there's anything you'd like to see a video on, you just drop a message right at the bottom where it says comment, and I'll do my best to make sure you're taken care of. I'm willing to discuss just about anything with you fine people. I hope you all have a good day, and you'll hear from me again before the weekend's out. Be good.